Hey everybody, I'm out here once again with the GPX Moto TSE250R, and I got highway dirt bike crash guards with a mirror. I got Tugger rear strap and a front strap. I have the IMS shifter now on here, and because I broke off the petcock on the OEM tank, they're actually going to look at relocating and making this out of better metal so it just doesn't break that easy. But I, luckily enough, had some fuel switches, if you will, valves. So turn on the fuel like so, and it's on reserve, so that's good. And what else do we have? I think that's basically it for now. I had to put a couple new screws on the back of this. Oh, I got the FISCH Forest Service approved screen in here. That's installed. And that's it. Oh, I had to tighten up, replace the frame bolt. Luckily I had a nice style bolt on the shelf. It's a little long, it's hitting the exhaust, but I think that'd be fine for right now. You can still see I have protective decals on things. I didn't take them all off. They're even on the forks here. But let's see, what else. This is just from boot wear, so expect that because it does stick pretty far out. Oh, I had to replace or find a nut and Loctite and put it on this exhaust bolt. The nut was gone, but the bolt was hanging in by a thread, so that's still good. I'm still running it without the boost bottle, so still trying the bike without that. And what else? I think that's it. I didn't want to mess around anything with the carb yet. I think I need to adjust the float level a little. I didn't want to mess with any of the carb or the boost bottle until I tested the FISCH United States Forest Service approved spark arrestor. All the links are in the description down below, so you can go and see what I bought and what I have on this bike. And the only thing I don't have is the ZeelTronic stuff hooked up yet because I'm still testing the stock bike, but I will get to that probably here in the next month. So maybe a couple months for a video, we'll see. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The bike has been pretty good. You know, I didn't go through all the bolts like I planned to, so I had some loose bolts here and there, but that's not a big deal. That's to be expected. I would advise like frame bolts. This frame bolt just has a nut on the back. I don't know if you can see in there. See, it's too long, I need to cut it. But get a lock nut and put a lock nut on, that way it will never come loose, at least to the point of losing it. And I believe it's the same for this side. This one I had Loctite on it, so get a lock nut and maybe change the back side of that one out. I don't know why they didn't just at the factory weld in a bolt into the frame so you could just easily secure and not have to worry about nuts falling off. That would have been a nice feature. Probably wouldn't cost anything extra while manufacturing that rear subframe attachment point to the frame. So that's what we have. So let's go out and ride and see what else, I guess, falls off the bike. But you know, a lot of it's stuff I could have preventively done, admittedly. I'm like most people. I got a bike, I'm excited to ride it, I toss it together and I go for a ride, right? So we're testing it like normal people would be pretty excited. People that might not have any mechanical experience and they're getting a bike in their garage and they have to put it together, maybe even go buy some tools. And it might be their first motorcycle, so they might have no idea to check various bolts. So at least by losing them, those are at least the ones you need to check, because if I lost it, then you're probably going to lose it. And just as I go through and I have to replace bolts, or that's not a big deal. You can buy bolts at Ace, wherever. I have a good collection. You can go to McMaster Gar. I'll put the link of that in the description. They sell a wide range of nuts and bolts. Otherwise, you can go on Amazon. You won't know what you're getting for quality, but you can buy bolts there and nuts. Okay, so let's go for a ride. And I'm sorry to those that want instead of riding necessarily videos, they want talking videos. That's why this video will be a little bit more talking. So sorry to the folks that like the riding aspect of the bike. I'm going to be talking more while riding, at least for this video, because just kind of talk about stuff. People seem to send me questions, and I got a few like, all you do is breathe heavy. Well, I got a mic right in my helmet here. I'm probably even talking too loud right now because it's in my helmet. But anyways, you know, I like riding, so I'm showing the bike riding typically. And if you can do the various terrain on this type of bike that I ride, then you're probably not a beginner rider, but you know the bike is pretty good, you know. That means you have some growth for the bike. So you might be new, but you can work your way up, and this bike will still be just fine. So anyways, let's go hit it. Okay, so that key, that's good. And make sure, yeah, that's out. It is a little bit colder. Let's get in there. It's warming up. There we go. That's without choke. That's without choke. I probably could have put on choke and it probably would have started right up, but gotta try it without choke. So there we go. Without choke, took a little bit, but it did start right up. Battery's still good as per the dash, at least. RPM's nice and low. Still warming up. Okay, there we go. Got some rev going. So for two-stroke oil, I've been running Lucas. I've been running it 50-1. So that's what my gas calls for. That's, I believe, what this bike calls for. So I'm running it 50-1. That's just what I like. Keeping it the same so I don't have any weird mixtures in the garage. So Gary over at GPX Moto is making some changes, which is good. He's making some, he's looking at relocating that petcock, like I said, and making it out of a better material. I said, or maybe sell more of a bling one on the side that is CNC. That would never break. You'll probably rip the bolts out of the tank before you know, go ahead and before it would break. And CNC parts in China are cheap, so I said maybe add more CNC parts. How about a kickstand? A stronger kickstand, lighter, and you know, just sell it separate. I mean, I'm not looking to get this stuff included on the bike. Just give me more of a shopping, give the consumer more of a shopping cart experience, because we all like aftermarket parts. How about a bigger gas tank? Now somebody might say there's one that fits, and maybe IMS has one that fits the Husky, that fits this, or a KTM, or whatever. I think I'm going the right way. But my point being, I would like that during checkout, because how I bought the bike wasn't from a dealer. It was from them directly, and I just put it on Visa, so you know, you can get a little more carried away and buy more stuff when you use a Visa, right? That goes for anybody. So it's good business, I think, to have more products that will allow riders buying these the chance to buy upgraded parts right from them, right at the time they're putting it on the credit card. or if you do have a dealer that's selling this in your state, then how about, you know, it gives them the opportunity to say, look at all the parts we offer for this little known bike, you know? So it helps the branding out a lot more. That's just my 2 cents in marketing and stuff. It's what I always kind of like not liked about some of the niche boutique, if you will, motorcycle brands like Sherco and Gas before KTM, is the manufacturers, the importers, didn't try too hard to get things made. Now some will say, well, but they want you to buy a stock tank or a stock shifter. No, well, most of these dealers carrying these more niche stuff, they're actually riders. They're actually riders, and they know people will buy stuff aftermarket. Typically, they're not going to go buy a gas shifter for $300 when there's one for 50, 60, 100 bucks, you know? And they know that. So they don't want to carry those overpriced parts. The dealer, rather, if there's a dealer, rather carry parts people are actually going to buy. You know, no one goes back to, I won't say no one, I would suspect very few people go back to KTM directly and buy a top end. You would have to be silly to pay the price they want. Nor do I think the manufacturers typically expect people to come back and buy that stuff, you know? And it's probably why they charge so much, because it's not necessarily the brand, they're not really in the parts business per se. If you know what I mean. They're not in the parts business, they're in the oh, here we go, Independence Trail. Yeah, they're not in the parts business, they're in the motorcycle selling business. You know, they'll sell you a part if you want, but they don't care, so that's why the price is high. And they know there's aftermarket, so they know most people are going to go aftermarket.